can go into the Yin Yang Reflect project.
Yes, sir. Ready as I'll ever be.
Welcome to the Wellcoin Talk community. I'm Glenn, your host. Today we have joining us Yoda from Yin Yang Reflect. We're going to be talking about the features of the token. There's going to be monthly token promotion, and the BBR Bitburn Reflect reflects into this token as a twin token as well, and the app pay as well, which they're looking to do online self-care and wellness shops as well. We'll talk about that shortly, but first, can you introduce yourself with your background and experience, Yoda?
Hello, my name is Yoda B420. I have been a crypto trader since around 2017. Started on the ERC20 side, and I made my way to the Binance Smart Chain. Admittedly, around the time of the whole SafeMoon craze, that brought me over to this side. I'm involved in various the Unite DeFi movement communities. We aim to make a safer space for the smart chain and promote other projects that also do that by way of safe contracts and trusted devs within the circles and communities. I'm a mod in various projects also. I have a well-known reputation within those circles of being a blockchain deep diver and trying to expose shady projects and transactions and posting all of the Texans and trying to out the bad characters here.
Okay, great, Yoda. And yeah, so maybe if we can just give an introduction on the Yin Yang Reflect project for community investors today.
The Yin Yang Reflect system is a two token system under one project. Um, I concepted the idea around 6 months ago while I'm an ambassador for RocketFi. I don't know if you know them. And they had another project that was a rewards option that had like three tokens. And they were trying to figure out how to make them support each other. So I came up with the idea of, I just typed in the chat. I said, well, what if they had the tokens by each other? And everybody said that was a bullish idea, but I don't think that project ever did it. So I've had this idea in my head for around 6 months now. And recently, earlier this month, I started reaching out to contract developers to see if it was possible with the contract that I wanted to use, if we could edit it for dual rewards, because the contract I'm using is a fork of the Bitburn Reflect contract, which was the base of it was created by Marshmallow Man. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with him, but he's one of the safest contract devs in this space. Like, he will not put out code if he thinks it will have any kind of vulnerabilities or at all. So I reached out to devs to see if that kind of contract I needed could be made. And when I finally got in touch with Mighty and Emperor from Bit Valley, they were really excited, and right away he just messaged me back. He's like, yeah, we'll start working on it right now. So that leads to where we're at now. The Yin Yang system is two tokens that have a 10% buy and sell tax. Um, Out of that 10% tax, each token will constantly be buying, burning, and reflecting in each other at 4%. And you'll also have 1%, and that same system will be rewarding you in two other tokens. The Yin token will always reflect BBR, which is Bitburn Reflect. I'm a client of their Breezy ecosystem, so this is going to be the first client token that is tied to that. And the Yang token will always be a featured token of the month. The first one is going to be BBR Renounced. Since I'm starting with that system, the BBR Renounced also rewards you in the BBR token, and those will reward you in Bitcoin. After this month, I will be doing the Bit Valley token since they are the biggest part of the development of this project. And then after that, we will do the other Unite DeFi communities, and those will be put up to a vote to community members of which one they want. And then we will start offering that secondary reward slot to other projects.
Awesome, Yoda. And I do remember Bitburn Reflect coming, and the owner at the time was an Investor Maniac. They did hugely successful there. So was you an investor there originally, and now you decided, are you in contact with the team? How does it sort of work? Are you building a partnership with some of the projects?
Yes, sir. I've been in Investo Maniac. I've been friends for quite a while now, and I was an investor in that project. They're building out the Breezy ecosystem, which is what I'm tied to. It stands for Burn Reflect Ecosystem. So their official developed tokens are going to be all blue chips, and each one of those is going to feed 1% back into the mother token, which is BBR. But they're also going to offer deployment protocols, which that's what I'm a client into as a proof of concept of what's going to happen with each token that does that 1%. So that's why the Yin token, since I'm collaborating with them, that one's going to stay on BBR. But then the Yang token is the one that's going to be able to switch up every month for a featured token of the month.
So have you got like the support? Have you brought some people over from the community from Bitburn Reflect as well into the Yin Yang Reflect project?
Yes, our floor holders, they're backed up like all the various communities I've been in, all the Unite DeFi community. There's people from RocketFi, Affinity, Bitburn Reflect. It's various different communities are there.
So, how do investors get involved? Has there been a pre-sale? Has there been a private? How are you launching?
Initially, we did a 50 BNB seed sale. Uh, what we did, I had everybody filled out a Google form, and you had to contribute either 0.5 or 1 BNB. If they contributed 1 BNB, they got both tokens, 7,500 tokens of each token. 0.5 BNB, they got to pick a token. And like I said, there's various communities that I'm involved in. So where I have the reputation of digging the blockchain, the requisites where you had to be like a known long-term holder in those projects. So when I went through the list of all the names, I went into the blockchain and saw the bags they had and how long they had been holding them to make sure they wouldn't dump on everybody's heads. So it was like a seed sale for floor holders. We ended up with actually 51 BNB out of that because I had skipped over on somebody's name and didn't realize it by the time I put the list out. So out of that 51 BNB, I'm allocating 20 BNB to each token's LP. So that's 40, and then we kept out 11 for marketing, which I've went through pretty good on these AMAs and everything to get the token out into the eyes.
Awesome. So, have you got one token out or both tokens out?
They're not launched yet. They will be launching on Wednesday between 5:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Central Time. We will be going live with trading.
Got you. So, investors here today would have to wait for the pancake sale, pancake swap launch to invest, or is there opportunities to invest before the launch?
They will have to wait till the launch. We just did the seed sale, and then we're going to fair launch, and the launch will be at the same price that they got. Everybody, like I said, they got 7,500 tokens, and that will be the max buy at launch too, because we did like, if you were familiar with BBR, that was part of our anti-whale thing that we did over there. So there's not going to be no one whale is going to be able to show up and just throw in like 10 beans and buy up the whole supply. It's going to be everybody's going to have an equal chance to get the same amount, and that'll be the max buy at launch. And like 3 or 4 hours later, I will tier it up to 1%, so everybody has a fair shot to get the same amount.
I see, Yoda. And you're going to have the FTM, which is a featured token of the month. So, is that yourself or someone else on the team that's going to be scouting for really promising projects? And then there's going to be reflections built in to these tokens that are chose each month, also into the Yin Yang Reflect.
Yes, right now that'll be myself. Uh, like all they need to do is reach out, and I will go through and make sure. Like I have various contacts with contract developers. We'll go through and make sure there's nothing nefarious. I don't want to put any kind of rug pulls in that slot or anything. Um, I really don't like the idea of charging people to do that. So it might be like a partnership deal where they would buy so much of each token and airdrop their members, and then they get that slot. So whoever's holding my tokens would still get more of their tokens just for holding them.
Awesome. So is that built into the buy and sell tax? Some gets put aside for the featured token of the month, and then you'll invest in that project as well.
Yeah, that's on the Yang token. It's always the secondary. The 1% out of the 10% tax will always go to a secondary token besides the reflections in the Yin token that they do back and forth. So that 1% of the Yang will change out monthly. It will always be a featured token of the month.
I see. And then you've got the other 1% from the Bitburn Reflect as well that investors will get for holding the Yin Yang Reflect.
Yes, that will always, like I said, the two tokens will always be buying and burning and reflecting in each other. So you're always going to have volume on that token, also giving you the reflections. And the BBR that one reflects will also reflect the investors in BTCB Bitcoin rewards.
Okay, I see. And you've got the app pay as well. You're going to be pursuing a partnership with them. You're planning an online self-care and wellness shop. Can you tell investors about the idea around the self-care and wellness shop?
Yeah, that was, if you could tell by my nature, I'm like a pretty chill individual. So I'm into that kind of like good vibes and energy. So my long term goal is to open an online shop that sells like yin yang oriented items and like crystals and essential oils and incenses and stuff like that. And we're talking with AppPay at the moment. They have an app. I like to call it like the fingerhood of crypto because it's buy now, pay later. But when we form that partnership, my shop will be listed on their app like a storefront, and anybody can use any crypto to pay for the items, including my yin and yang tokens.
Okay, awesome. And then profits from the shop would be like buyback and burns used for marketing and promoting the Yin Yang Reflect twin token ecosystem.
So exactly. I'll have it all tied in on the same website and everything. And then anything I use from that, I'll put back, like in the, like you said, to the LP buybacks and burns and stuff like that.
And are you going to have a smart contract audit? Has that been done or is that coming on launch? What's happening around the smart contract audit for the two tokens?
I will be auditing shortly after launch. Anybody that is like deep into the DeFi space and Unite DeFi, you would understand. I know it causes hype to have a good audit before launch, but projects that do audit before launch, they can change the code and then launch their new code, and most people would never know that. So I'm deciding to wait until shortly after launch because that way, once it goes on the blockchain, I can never change my code unless people use a proxy, which I am not using a proxy. If you ever get into a project that is using a proxy, if you go on the blockchain and you see them update something, the second they update that, their audit is null. It means nothing at all because that means they changed the contract code. So that's why I'm choosing to wait until it is live on the blockchain. Then I will have it audited so you know that nothing can be changed.
I see. And with the Bitburn Reflect, you're saying it's a fork of it. So are the two tokens a fork of it, or is one built differently than the other?
Both contracts will be mirror contracts. They'll be exactly the same. Um, the reason, the only difference is we had to edit it to allow dual rewards because the Bitburn Reflect contract only allows the one, the Bitcoin rewards. But I had to, I had to have ours modified so that they would allow two token slots instead of one to be rewarded.
I see. And what's the marketing plans after launch? How are you going to promote the projects and get the name out there for Yin Yang Reflect?
I still plan to continue doing AMAs as much as I can. I have connections with a person that can do like newspaper articles, or not newspaper, online articles, and I have a contact for billboards and stuff like that. And through the partnership offering on the featured token of the month that would get us, that would get myself and whoever was on the featured token of the month, it would get our eyes on those projects also, just exposing us to more people and holders, and also exposing them to more people and holders if they chose to collaborate with us.
Great. Let's open it to the rest of the team. If anyone's got a question for Yoda at YinYang Reflect, go ahead. No, or we can move on to community investors. Let's see. Syed, you had a question for Yoda at YinYang Reflect. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Okay, so I was thinking, will you be buying token on monthly basis by selling your native tokens? And don't you think it will going to affect the chart of your native token?
No, the monthly basis, we're not going to be buying those. We'll just do like the whitelist us, and then there'll be a part of the distributor that we have that collects on the fees, and then that 1% fee is what's going to be buying that other token and rewarding it to the holders.
Okay, understood. And the tokens which will be bought on the monthly basis, will only you be making the decision, or will community also be able to vote on the project, or how will that going to work out?
Like I said, the first few months is going to be the other token, like the communities that were involved that are supporting this project. And then after we cycle through, even while we're cycling through those, I am going to put the names of the tokens and have the community vote on which one they want for that month. And then it'll be the same way, like if 2 or 3 projects want to be the featured token of the month, I'll have the community vote for which one they think should be put in that slot for that month.
Okay, got it. Okay, final question. I was thinking that don't you think that sustaining the growth of the two tokens simultaneously can be difficult as compared to only one token?
Well, the way I'm putting it together under one project, and it'll be the same theory, because all you have to do is once you launch it, like the only thing I would technically even be able to mess with is the tax, which once I, or not the, or yeah, the tax, but I'm not going to change anything. If anybody knows Marshmallow Man, the way he develops codes, like there's no blacklist function, there's no pause trading function. Once it's live, it's live. There's basically nothing that I could do to hurt it or even change it that much. So basically, my focus will be on promoting it and keeping it alive, keeping the chat active, and just trying to keep things flowing smoothly.
Understood. Thank you so much for the explanation. Over to you, Glenn.
Thanks for the question, Syed. Let's move to Venice. You had a question for Yoda at YinYang Reflect. Go ahead. Are you there, Venice? We can come back if he has his hand up shortly. Yeah, we'll go to Western Beast. Western Beast, you had a question for Yoda at YinYang Reflect. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. So I saw on your roadmap that you guys will be pursuing a partnership with AtPay.io to be listed on the shopping platform. Why did you guys specifically choose this AtPay.io in order to ensure this partnership? What's the benefits? What's in it for you people?
It's more in line with the DeFi and being able to spend. I had already had contact with Jim from AtPay.io, and I'd like the concept of the platform, that it's a buy now pay later, but then you're able to pay with fiat and any crypto that you want, and it will also allow us to it will allow buyers to use our tokens to do that. So it's like a instant. Once we're able to do that, it's like an instant use case for the tokens, a real world utility. You'll be able to buy online items with our tokens or any crypto that you want for that matter.
Oh, that sounds good, Yoda. Would you guys be integrating into this?
Excuse me, I didn't hear that last part.
Would you guys be integrating other similar platforms?
Yeah, once it goes live, like we'll have on their app, they have like storefronts but then we'll be able to link straight to that from our D app and website also to be able to shop online.
All right, Yoda. Thank you very much for answering my questions. I really love the detailed explanation to the project. I wish you guys the very best, and I hope Yin Yang reflects this bullish moonward. Over to you, Glenn.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Please, let's move to Venice. You had a question for Yoda at YinYang Reflect. Go ahead.
Yeah, Glenn, thank you so much. Actually, Yoda, my question is similar to what Sayed asked you about how to sustain your project, because I read that buying and selling yin or yang, people will be rewarded with the opposite token. Suppose if investors only buy or sell one token more as compared to the other token, then I think it might create other token cripple, making one token higher only.
That's why I think having the different secondary rewards on each token would be different, because if somebody's buying just the yen to get more BBR, but then you put a featured token of the month and that community comes in, they'll start buying the yang to be able to get more of that token, and it'll go back and forth.
Okay, and what incentives will people get when they will buy yin or yang? Because it is possible that people might go directly and buy those tokens that you are rewarding them. So, what will be the main difference?
Also, the benefit of buying either one is you'll essentially, like my new slogan is, you can't have one without the other. So you're automatically getting another portion of a token that also has a value to it, because they're buying each other and giving that to you at 4% up to 10% tax back and forth. So essentially, both tokens are going to act like mini trading bots to each token. Like, I don't like to say that, but that's the way it's going to be, because no matter what the transaction is on either token, it's going to be buying the opposite one's chart at the same time, back and forth.
Yeah, I think it's a kind of a unique idea to have those two tokens and separate smart contracts. But I think when new investors join crypto, or even experienced investors join crypto, they don't really understand about different things of crypto. So, do you have any plan to educate new users or experienced users so that they can get to know what benefits they will get by either buying yin or yang token?
Definitely will. It'll be laid out on the website, like what each separate token gives. And another benefit we're going to have on the D app is the users will be able to either, they can manually claim the rewards from each token, but there'll also be a staking platform that will be live on launch, and there'll be a 3-tiered lock time, but it'll only be like, there'll be like 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and then a longer. And the staking will actually offer different tokens. You can either choose your rewards in yen or yang or BBR or the featured token of the month, but then there will also be like BUSD and a few other tokens that I want to put in there. We'll probably let the community vote on some other tokens that they want in there, but that will be available on launch also.
Okay, okay, Yoda, understood, and thank you so much for answering my questions.
Thank you.
Thanks for the questions, Venice. Let's move to Asia. You had a question for Yoda at YinYang Reflect. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. So you said that you are pursuing partnership with @payu to be listed on this shopping platform where items can be purchased with crypto, including Yin and Yang token. I was wondering, as Yin and Yang token are volatile tokens, so don't you think price of Yin and Yang can fluctuate drastically when buyer makes payment to the time seller receiving payment?
Well, if they wanted to use that token to shop at our shop and they would buy some, that would probably drive it up. And then, of course, every token has ups and downs, but that's the thing on if the selling of the token also rewards you with more of the other token. on every single transaction that happens with either token. It's going to be buying the other one, no matter if they buy, sell, transfer. And it's also going to be burning. What we're doing is a true burn. Um, there's few projects that are doing this now, but usually when a project says they're burning tokens, they just send them to a dead wallet that's sitting there and the supply is still the same. But with our true burn mechanism, the supply will actually decrease, and you'll be able to see that on BSC scan and KuCoin. We're starting at a 1 million supply on both tokens, but they go live, you'll be able to watch the total supply will decrease because they're a true burn mechanism. In turn,
Understood. Thank you.
value.
Thank you so much for answering.
Thank you for asking.
Good question. Let's move to Bigo. You had a question for Yoda at YinYang Reflect. Go ahead. Bigo? No? Okay. So, yeah, if we can maybe do a recap for the community investors that have joined later on in the we've got 338 on the call now. So, yeah, if they've missed the first half, can we just do a recap on the YinYang Reflect project? Yoda, that'd be great.
Yeah. Also, I didn't mention the token allocations. So from the seed sale we did, that is going to 43.5%, and then the liquidity will be a 30% ratio, and then the other 26.5% is going to be pink sale vested. That's going to be on a tiered rate. So at 1% will be released per week, and I'm going to do a weekly. It'll either be a VC in the Telegram or a Twitter space, and every single time that vesting releases the 1%, I'm going to do like a giveaway to the community. We'll have some kind of games, or it could be based on who's held the longest or something like that. So there will be no free tokens that are left out in a wallet or anything like that. There's no team wallets. I'm not even getting my own bag. So every single token will be put to use. Um, so for as far as the recap, Yin Yang Reflect is a 2 token system under one project. There's a 10% buy and sell tax on both tokens. Out of that 10% tax, there's 4% reflections in the opposite token. So if you buy yin, you get yang for reflections, and if you buy yang, you get yin for reflections. Both tokens will also have a 1% reflection and a secondary reward. The yin token will always be Bitburn Reflect, which also gives you rewards in Bitcoin. And the secondary reward on Yang will be a featured token of the month. We will have our website, and the app will be available on launch. The app will allow manual claiming of your rewards on both tokens, and will also have a staking feature where you can choose other tokens that will be listed there, including BUSD, the Yin and the Yang token, the BBR, and featured token of the month, plus some various other ones that will be voted on by the community. Our future goals, like I said, we're already pursuing a partnership with AtPay.io. Plan to open an online shopping store, and the AtPay.io will allow users to spend any crypto they want to buy our items, including the Yin and the Yang token. On launch, we will be listed on PancakeSwap and KuCoin. I'm going to send the contracts over to the Affinity team, and hopefully we'll be listed to buy on Adapt.exchange right away. And also we will be listing on the floaty swap dex that comes from RocketFi when that goes live. They do not require any projects to seed DLP, so we'll be listing on there as soon as possible also.
Okay, awesome. We're running out of time here, but it's been great speaking to Yoda from Yin Yang Reflect. Like you said, it's a twin token. You're going to get reflections in both tokens and some reflections as well from the Bitburn Reflect project that we had an AMA here with. It did really well in the past. and you'll get Bitcoin reflections from that as well. So yeah, it's an interesting concept. I'm looking forward to the future for the community and the team. And thank you very much for coming today, Yoda.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Hope to see some of you all on launch. Like I said, these are very safe contracts developed by Marshmallow Man and Mighty and Emperor from Bit Valley. If anybody knows anything about those developers, they know that this will be safe.
If anyone's got any questions, we've got the socials in the main chat. As we say at Wellcoin Talk, it's for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice, but like I say, yeah, you can check out the website. That's going to come shortly. Check out the socials and the white paper. They're in our main chat if you've got any questions after the AMA. And take care, Yoda.
Sure, thank you. I enjoyed it. Have a great day.
You too. I'll finish the record and send over a copy for you to share with your community, and I'll send that into the main chat for anyone who couldn't join the call today.
Appreciate that.